Morning Africa, good morning Ghana. This is Entrepreneurs Today on Pan-African Television. My name is Ivan Bands. Today on the show we are talking to the Chief Executive Officer of BELLO COUTURE, who is in the person of Mr. Bennett Isiamara Bracco. But before we get into the substantive issues, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll get talking. Stay with us. Alright, so welcome back from that quick break. Like I said, we are talking to the Chief Executive Officer of BELLO COUTURE, who is in the person of Mr. Bennett Bracco Isiamara. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you, boss.
I think the last time we met was at our brother's wedding, wedding. Yeah, I must say you were looking dashing with your old tuxedo and all that.
Well, I was doing my best man duties.
Of course, I mean, what are we supposed to expect from a fashion lord? I mean, yeah, so let's get talking. Who is Mr. Bennett Bracco Isiamara?
Okay, Mr. Bennett Bracco Isiamara is a young and energetic guy who comes from Pro in the Eastern region. I'm from a very noble family called the Commerce, and by His grace, I'm married to a beautiful lady called Eunice, and I have a beautiful daughter, and I'm expecting a son as well.
How old is she?
How old is my daughter?
Yes.
A year and 4 months.
That's nice.
Yes, I'm expecting another one, so that's all about Bennett. And apparently, like you said, I'm the CEO of BELLO COUTURE.
BELLO COUTURE, I mean, has been named as one of Ghana's top-selling fashion brands. Now, how did it all start for you? How did you even enter into business in the first place?
Haha, you don't want to know.
I want to know, trust me. My
Okay,
viewers also want to know.
I would summarize it because I mean it can take like a whole day to talk about my story. But basically, I will take you back a little to my education background and all of that. I graduated Accra Polytechnic 2010 as a medical lab scientist.
Oh, wow.
And I then did my internship at Kolebu. I mean my service at Kolebu.
Okay.
So after my service, I was picked as one of the good workers. I mean, as at that time, Kolebu normally take somebody from the national service directly to be a staff. So I felt it was a grace that pushed me to that extent.
Level.
Yes. So during my stay in Kolebu, I used to draft all the stuff that I wear. I used to draft almost everything.
Everything that you wore to work?
Yes,
wow.
to work. It used to be, I started that, that sketching and all of that way back in school. Way back in university, but I wasn't taking it serious, So in Kolebu, almost all my doctors and some nurses and some patients and all of that, they go like, oh, Abranti, this your thing is nice. It looks quite different. It looks quite different from what we normally see. I get fashion design. I'm like, no, I'm a medical lab scientist, and they'll be like, wow. Most comments I was getting was they don't really see the science side of me, but what they see is more of a fashion guy. Because of a lab scientist will be going to the office in a jeans and a nice fitted African apparel with some white sneakers or something. It wasn't really done because with a normal science person, you are supposed to be seen in a shirt, a tie, and a lab coat. I hated lab coats, so I wasn't really wearing my lab coats at work and all of that. So during that time, my daddy also lost his my daddy is a pharmacist actually. So his warehouse got burnt, and now the pressure was on me. I had to stand in for the family as the breadwinner, and even that started during my third year in university. Yeah. So during my stay in Kolebu, I was still taking care of the family, and because of the hardship, my parents had to leave Accra to go live in the northern region, Bimbila to be precise. Where Bimbila, for Bimbila, things are very cheap there. The cost of living is way cheaper than Accra. But I told my parents, no, I have to be in Accra and see if, knock my head and see if something good can come out. Yeah. So, back to my stay in Kolebu. There's this guy, I was in the same church with him, Mr. Daniel. Anytime he comes to Kolebu and he sees me, he was like, he goes like, Bennett, try and see if you can delve into the fashion sector, and
sure.
see how best, I mean, it can help you, because you can do both. So I thought of it, and I spoke to a friend, Kwekwe Uku and Sab. They are all good photographers. As at that time, they had started, so it wasn't anything huge. So I spoke to Kwekwe, and Kwekwe didn't really, I mean, jump on it. But I spoke to Sab too, and Sab was like, okay, Charlie, I'm also a very new brand, so if this is what you really want to do, I mean, let's jump on it. So I decided to, the previous stuff that I had made, I decided to wear them myself with the help of a friend. A friend also wore some because he had my size. So we did a very first photo shoot, even in the dark. The day we went to Sab's studio, it was like 6. We were about taking the shots, and at that time the ECG thing was very huge. So we had lights off, and Sab was like, nah, this thing has to go on. So we took the photos in the dark, and it came out so nice. I decided to post one on social media. I wasn't really a social media person at that time, because, you know, if I'm supposed to be, I'm like the breadwinner for my family, I won't even have the time to go to cafe, because that time you have to go to the cafe. It wasn't like the phone thing that you can just Facebook and all of that. So I posted, I remember that particular picture. It was white with some dashiki, and my cousin saw that particular one. So my cousin is my very first client.
Oh,
yes. My cousin saw that, and he was like, hey Kwame, this is very huge. And bear it in mind, as at that time I didn't even know how to stitch. So anytime I do the sketching, I give it to a friend called Thomas. He was in some corner in my area, Thomas. So I just gave him the idea, and he would do the production. I mean the outfit for me. So when this guy, my cousin called, and he was like, he lied, I mean, what he saw. I was going to direct him to my tailor, but then something spoke to me that no, I mean, front it and act like you're the one who made it. So I knew it was going to sound a bit cliche to him, because he knew me as a science guy. I mean, he knew I was working in Kulebu, so I mean, no fine for now, that kind of guy. So I mean, I was able to bring him that, yeah, I'm the one who made it. So if he really wants it, I can get him one. He was okay with that, and I made one for him. And I mean, it kept on going, and this one will call. And then I gathered the courage to post almost all the pictures that I took from Sam. Now, I was torn between my lab and
even with that, I was even going to come to that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a question I want to ask. Okay, we understand that you were a medical scientist. I mean, lab scientist. Okay, which of course you were in Kulebu for a year, and you moved on to Best Star Medical Lab, which of course 2 years as well. And I mean, now looking at the kind of time, money you have spent, I mean, getting all this knowledge, you know, and now putting it aside and now venturing into fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds a bit to me. Right? It sounds a bit. It
was that serious to the extent that my father even disowned me.
Wow.
Yeah, because he, even though I was the breadwinner, he was. I mean, he's a man, so I wasn't really paying attention to him. My focus was my mom and my 2 siblings. But he didn't understand the reason why, if I wanted to be a fashion designer,
would you say it was a passion?
Yeah, it's a passion. Okay. Because that was what drove me
to doing what you did.
To still propel and to still prove to most people who were doubting the fact that I was just in for the money. Because of most of the times, when you're not passionate about it, when the difficulties start hitting you, you would run. I mean, you would just drop it. Because trust me, the difficulties, the early stages, it's not something you can write home about. It's crazy.
Okay, so now tell us about Bello Couture. What is Bello Couture?
Bello is an Italian word which means handsome, and couture is also a French word. It means costume, and obviously Ghana.
So what influenced the decision in creating that?
The whole influence came from the fact that, as at the time I wanted to get a name for the brand, I had a lot of names. Abrante, Ahimfie. There were a lot of local names. even though there were one or two foreign names in there, but I felt that my brand was going to be an international and a global brand, so it should be a name that would sell to almost everybody in my country and in another person's country, and it has to be like a normal name that everybody can feel free to mention. So that's how come I derived Bello. I mean, that's how come I decided to use Bello. And even with that, I just googled handsome in different languages. That's in Spanish, in Dutch, and in Italian language. But they gave me some options. But I felt Bello was stronger.
Well, I was thinking
Bello,
maybe you derived Bello from your name,
yeah.
Bennett.
Do you know what? Funny enough, when I was doing this, I didn't even have an idea of the fact that I'm also Bennett. That's where the BE is.
Yes.
I didn't even know. Trust me, it didn't occur to me to use my initials. But after I did it, and by His grace, the name started climbing. Everybody kept asking if it has something to do with my name, but apparently it has nothing to do with my name. So Bello Couture means handsome clothing Ghana.
Wow, handsome clothing Ghana. All right, so we'll go for a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we'll look at your clientele base. I mean, how you put up your clothes and your whole design for your clients as well.
Definitely.
All right, so let's go for a quick break. Stay with us. Alright, so welcome back from that quick commercial break. Yes, we're still talking to the Chief Executive Officer of Bello Couture, who is the person of Mr. Bennett Isiama Bracco. Yes, so like I said, let's look at your clientele base. I mean, the kind of people you work for them and the exact products they require from your brand Bello Couture.
Okay, so basically, we make very nice and well-tailored kaftans for engagement or even your traditional wedding. We also make Afrocentric tops for casual uses.
Which one is the Afrocentric?
Most of the detailing fabrics like behind you. The fabric I use for the pants. The one I use for the pants, yes.
Okay.
It's more detailed and it has more Afrocentric designs in there. So these ones, we also make these ones for casual use and I mean any other program. Yeah. And by His grace, my clientele base has grown to a very good number, where by His grace I've sold for quite a lot of big names. So
okay, so I know you sold for Van Baker before.
Yeah.
Which other persons or
I'm
company people?
a Chairman Kwame's official designer.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've sold
No wonder he looks good all the time. No wonder.
I've sold for Mr. Fifi Bassi.
Wow.
I've sold for Mr. Beku Santana. Yeah, I've sold for the names Bibini, Tex, Kwame Osudanso, Alkase.
Very soon,
And
soon
just
for
last
Ivan
week,
to-
last week I was the official. I mean, we finalized the deal. I finalized with what's his name, Mr. Kiwa. So I'm now the
Wow.
official designer for
Wow,
Cosmos.
highly spiritual.
Kelsons, yes. So I mean, the list keeps going.
I wanted to find out this then. With the designs you put out there, do you sketch them on your own, or I mean, sometimes the clients come in and say, Bennett, I want you to do this for me. I have the designs here. Look at it and do exactly what I've given to you. Or do you normally do that on your own?
Okay, so this is just something I've noticed.
Okay.
With my new clients, most of them haven't really had a feel of what I can make. Even though they go on my page and they look through stuff and they like them, most of them copy pictures from what I have already created and they send it to me to make some for them. That's if the fabric is available. But for my old clients, they already know me, so most of them call me and be like, Bello, I have a wedding this Saturday, I have a wedding this, I'm going here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, so just do something for me. So that's where I create more new stuff for them to rock.
Now, do you do just men or both?
I do both, but I do just the ladies kaftan. With the ladies aspect, I do just the kaftan because that's what I'm very good at. I don't do the cabaret suite and all of that. But when it comes to the ladies kaftans, I'm very good at that. So I do mainly men, and I do 1 or 2 kaftans for the ladies.
That's amazing. Well, so this is one of the most important questions that I've wanted to ask you. Okay, we come here. I realize that in the life of every entrepreneur or every businessman, there's a heap of challenges that they went through or they have endured. Kindly share with us your challenges that you have gone through, I mean, starting up as a businessman, as an entrepreneur.
My very first challenge was for, people that I know to accept me as a fashion designer, because most of them knew my science background. So the fact that I was delving into this, they all knew this guy is no good. Like, he's fronting for someone who is doing the tailoring, and he is taking credit for it and all of that. So for my people to really accept me as a fashion designer as at that time was one of the hugest challenges, because they would recommend me to someone, but here's the case whereby they know I'm a science guy and I don't do it myself, so what's the need to recommend me to someone? So like the very first one, that's the very first challenge. Secondly, we don't have a united fashion association here in Ghana. I've said it several times on so many platforms.
You have an association for fashion designers?
I am not an association.
But that's in the unity is not there.
Yeah, before Mr. Kofi Ansah died,
Okay.
He already created it. He created a palette, and the palette were young designers who are all in there, and he created that because as at that time, when a single person is traveling to do a show, let's take it for instance, I've been invited to do a show outside Ghana. Normally, it's very difficult to get the visas because they want a lot of documents and all of that. So most people get bounced. So he thought of the fact that we can go as a team and we would all bring our collections together, make different collections together, and travel together. So we did just one show, which was held at the trade fair. It was a fashion fair. So we will pay for the stand as pallets, but every designer or every brand is in there. We had about 6 or 7 brands in BELLO COUTURE, a lot. But after he died, things were a bit different, and no one was there to help and all of that. And so basically I feel the unity is not really there. It's more like some family thing.
Yes.
Like
I get that a lot.
This fashion designer knows this one, and they are like a group of friends. So when the links or something comes, they have to do it alone and all of that.
Is it that they don't give some of the young up and coming fashion designers the chance to also explore?
Yeah, that's how I see it. Because if someone is upcoming, what the big guys are supposed to do, they're supposed to be helping us. That's one of the things I give credit to a brand intelligence. He's one amazing guy. Very amazing. Yeah, there are sometimes he watch my status and he'll prompt me where there's a little mistake, and I'll have to redo it and put it back. I was very grateful he did that. So if we have someone like him, someone like me, and a lot more of us, the young ones are. I always say this: when the government gives me a contract to sew for everybody in Ghana, I can't do it. I would have to obviously give it to. We have to share it and do it, because the quantity is large. It's better we don't disappoint than you take the job and you just disappoint. A lot of people. Do you understand? So we are not united.
Would you say you take inspiration from a brand gentleman?
Yeah, in a way, because he also started with nothing and now he's somewhere. So that aspect of him, I take a lot of inspiration from him.
Alright, so looking at the journey, you were a medical scientist, and now moving into fashion, being one of Ghana's #1 fashion brands here, and looking at how your daddy once wanted to even disown you or even disowned you, okay? Was there a time in your life where you wanted to give up?
Yeah.
Share with us.
Just 6 months after I resigned from Baxter, I had drew a lot of strategies and all of that, but at the end of the day, for 6 months I wasn't getting any order from anyone. So I was like, hey, have I made the worst mistake in my life, or I need to still keep? But I'm also a very devoted Christian, so I then based on the word of God that if God brought me here and God in his own way held me to resign. Because if I wasn't supposed to resign, something would just happen and it won't happen.
Right.
Do you understand that? If I have been able to resign, and by his grace, I was still doing my responsibilities as the very firstborn, then he has to do something. So it got a time I really wanted to go back to the lab, but back then I spoke to my mom, and my mom was like, no, I should still push. She knows something will come up from me. So yeah.
I mean, a lot of inspiration coming out from you. Let's go for a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Alright, so welcome back from the quick commercial break. You're still watching Entrepreneurs Today on Pan-African Television. My name is still Ivan Banks, and we are still talking to the Chief Executive Officer of Bello Couture, Mr. Bennett Brako Isiama. Yes, Mr. Bennett, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, so I wanted to find out this from you. Do you have any competitors in the fashion industry? Would you say you have a competitor?
I won't say I have a competitor because I have sacked myself not to be in a competition with anybody here in Ghana.
Amazing.
Because we need to propel Ghana outside. We are not supposed to compete among ourselves here.
Right.
So we need to be more united. First back to the unity thing I was talking about. I don't see anybody as competition. I'm just doing Bello so that I can propel my name or my country outside the world. So I feel I would be much more in a competition with a foreign brand more than someone in Ghana.
What brands do you look up to?
Okay, I have three favorites.
Okay, tell us.
Ebewele Brown, he's a Nigerian.
Okay.
He's the king of kaftan in Nigeria.
Wow, amazing.
And we have this guy, Yomi Casual.
Okay.
Yomi Casual is also one amazing guy. And Maya Tafo. He's also one great guy. He makes suits.
Maya Tafo.
He's the best suit maker in Nigeria now.
Wow. Do you do suits?
No, I don't.
That's good. That's good. All right. So let me just take these words from you. I'm sure there are a lot of young people out there, young adults who want to, as it were, one way or the other, enter into fashion designing. Okay, because I'm sure most people, I mean, look up to you or get inspired by your work. What would you say to them as young and upcoming fashion designers who need that kind of inspiration? What would you say to them?
Okay, first I would tell them to get closer to God, which is the very first key. Secondly, they shouldn't rush to be out there. They should take their time, go through all the theory, go through all the practicals, give yourself a little time, master the arts, master the artwork, craft. Then you can know that, okay, I'm fit to yeah. And the third one would be get closer to a mentor. I mean, get a mentor, somebody who's already in it, somebody who inspires you a lot. Get closer to the person, get to learn a lot of stuff from them. Then I'm sure with everything you have on board, you will get there.
It's true. Yes, so you heard that from Mr. Isiama Bennett, who says that if you want to be a fashion designer as a young person, you need to just master your craft, look at yourself very well, see if you're willing or can be able to do it, and if that is okay, you follow the passion, and everything moves on. This is where we draw the curtains on Entrepreneurs Today on Pan-African Television. My name is Ivan Banks. Catch me same time next week. Stay with us. Bye bye.
Pendula hiakela angosiam pendula hiakela angosiam pendula hiakela angosiam pendula hiakela pendula 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 oh pendula pendula umhlaba wonke ujonge kuwe, inhlupeko yethu yaziwa nguwe, anezifo zethu